Hello, hello, everybody. Everyone come on in, get cozy. Say hello to all your friends in the chat. We are coming to you live from Fan TV headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia. Welcome to the Atlanta United Fan TV post-match live show. Here we are. Feels like we're on a roll a bit. Seeing what Columbus did, so far to other teams they played this season, feel like that first game was pretty good all in all. Second game, well, you know what happened in that game. Giakoumakis sure showed up. And in this game, he did as well. He made a statement, and so did everyone who learned that what time it was. It's Saba time once again. He pulled out the watch. Whew. Man. I am, Alright, so I got 3 beers for tonight. 1 because we won. 2 because we beat Orlando City. And 3 because it's St. Paddy's Day. So cheers. Alright, so let me bring in AJ to get to the fan reactions. After AJ spills the beans about what he experienced at the game. AJ, what were your immediate thoughts?
First of all, I don't think you introduced yourself on the top of the show.
I didn't, but I don't know if I typically do. But I'm Mike, and this is AJ. It's kind of like a new season almost, so it's probably good to refresh everybody about who you're looking at.
Indeed. It is the glorious Michael. I am AJ, and yes, this match, it flattered to deceive a little bit, but we got the clean sheet. We got the 2 goals. We were clinical when it mattered, and these goals were very good. Very, very good goals. The assists to them, the pre-assist to them as well, were all good. But I think it's something in the stadium. Yeah, it's a Sunday night. It's a little bit, okay, yeah, there's some hype, but I felt like it could have been more. I feel like it could have been a better atmosphere. And yeah, there's some sparse seats a little bit where they were empty. I think the atmosphere could have been better. And I implore us to do better in terms of as a fan base. Because, it wasn't a perfect performance at all from the club. But, I think what matters, obviously, is the 3 points, but when you have some pretty glaring things that, are I think you're noticing a little bit, like at least a little bit of a pattern. It's 3 games, small sample size, but man, we're allowing a lot of shots. Look, it's not something that's sustainable, and I think we've in the past previous years have talked about sustainability, and there have been some seasons where basically we're the stoppage time merchants, where we get late goals to rescue games, and of course that's not sustainable. But allowing this many shots and at home not dominating, not controlling the match, a little concerning.
Yeah, let's talk about the stats real quick. Let's get a little bit of content to, fill in what we're talking about. So expected goals tonight for Atlanta, 0.95, 0.43 for Orlando. They beat us on 57% possession versus our 43. We had 13 shots. They had 11. We had 7 on target. They had 3. They had 3 block shots. We only had 1. They had 8 corner kicks. We only had 5. We had 16 fouls. They only had 7. We had 5 yellow cards. They only had 1. They had 15 free kicks. We only had 6. So that's quite a few disparaging, like very different stats.
Yeah, disparate for sure. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's let's not even get to the ref yet. That's a whole another discussion that we'll get to him and the whole referee core really, but yeah, I mean on both sides there were some missed calls, but it felt like retaliation. But anyway, we'll get to it. But it's yeah, the stats alone, it's just like, yeah, it's it doesn't make for incredible reading, but it shows a pretty even match a little bit in which we were able to put away our chances. And Orlando, they had the bar a couple times too. And on the flip side, Galise, who always does what he does, he stood on his head, but we were able to get a couple past him that were just really good goals. And that's ultimately kind of the difference, is that our goals, or we score in a much better fashion than they were able to kind of put any away. I mean, they were unlucky at times, and yeah, I mean, we were also unlucky with the double save. I mean, Galise is just so damn good, it's annoying. So annoying.
Yeah, but he absolutely kept them in the game after those that double save he did. He sprouted another arm.
Yeah, that, and then plus there was another save before that where he tipped it over. I mean, just the 2 Derek Williams chances.
Yeah,
like that their keeper just, man, like he kept us out, but yeah, ultimately there are moments where it's a weird one. It's like such a weird game, because we could have gone 4-0 in this match, but we also weren't really, we played on the counter pretty much as we could.
Yeah,
even from build up we were playing quick, which is great. That's that's what you want, but I think it was at times a little too fast.
It was.
Shauna Silva was maybe a little too loose with some of his passing. I think you could see why he was taken off a little bit earlier, because it was just like, okay, well, if we're trying to protect this lead now, we can't just willy-nilly back pass, or not back pass, but back heel, and it's yeah, I mean, Thiago Almada as well, not really.
He didn't have a great game.
Where he's doing. It almost feels like he's like going through motions at the moment.
In this game, he felt like that. Yeah, just the amount of times he ran right into like 4 players and tried to dribble past them all was way too many.
Exactly. He wasn't really playing team ball, and this is what I mean. Is like him. It feels like he has a post Argentina U23's hangover right now. Like, he's not really. It seems like his head isn't really exactly, with the entire team at the moment in terms of, kind of his cohesion with the rest of the players in the 11. Like, and I think it's obvious. Like, he didn't have a preseason with these players, and it shows. I mean, but that's the thing. He's Thiago Almada. He's going to be in the 11. Like, it's,
but I don't understand why he feels the need to dribble past 4 players. Just leave it off. And there was, other times too. I mean, other players on our team were guilty of not being on the same page as Almada as well, to their detriment. There was at least one time where Almada was wide open. He should have slotted him the pass, but didn't do it. Decided to do something else instead when it didn't go anywhere. I mean, remember Taylor Twellman on the broadcast was like losing his mind about how that's just a guaranteed goal if they do that pass, but they just decided not to.
Right. Yeah, there were some moments where we didn't shoot in the box.
Yes,
and
there's a lot of like one too many passes in the box, like 3 or 4 times.
Right. I mean, yeah, pretty much 3 or 4 times. And yeah, you have the Almado chance as well, where, yeah, I think that's what you were alluding to. But he should have shot. Instead, he was trying. He put it onto his left and then tried to lay it off at that point, and it's just the chance is gone. I think there was a Saba chance as well where he should have shot.
Yes.
And then, I mean, yeah, Shada Silva though, I think he was trying to make a lot of things happen, which, like, I think it's this. It's like we played way more vertical than we usually do, which, okay, maybe that was the game plan, against Orlando, which, I think did work out, obviously. But, Saba, yeah, with him switching to the wings, switching sides on the wings, yeah, he was imperious.
Yeah.
He was a player that, man, like he and Gigi both, of course, but also Lennon. I mean, I think
Lennon had a great game.
Had really great matches. And Lennon, taking some souls aside, he was constantly winning the ball, winning his duels, and it was just something that I mean, Lennon, man, he looks a more confident player defensively this season, and then he's like shored up some of the things that people had complaints about his game, which the blind passes, the blind crosses, the very predictable play that of yesteryear, where he just would go into blind corridors and just cross his way out of it.
Yeah.
Now it's way different. It's he's orchestrating some things. He's more confident, more decisive in the final third, and the right side it was a terror.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The wings are where we were playing it, but I think that's where I think against a stronger side that's a little bit more in better form, we can't really get away with some of the things that we were getting away with. But
I agree.
Because we were primarily playing on the wings. Like, there was not really too much incisive in the middle of the park, really. I mean, besides Gigi's just incredible outside of the boot assist for Saba. And let's talk about that goal, because damn.
Yeah. That was a fancy move he did there. That was that was great. Right on the money. Like, couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it's like the weight of the ball, the angle of it, to pretty much play in Saba with just like, he still had a lot of things to do to score the goal, but I mean, it pretty much allowed him to get the 1-on-1. And Saba, man, in front of goal. I mean, Galise, it felt like he cheated a little too much to his near post, and just really gave, like, he just like almost running of the bulls type of, like, okay, you just have that far post.
He didn't think Saba had it in him to score that goal, with the far post. So he's like, yeah, go ahead, try. I'm gonna cover this, and you'll probably shoot at this because you're not good enough to score that goal. But it's Saba time, so.
Oh yeah, and he, I mean, what he was able to, it's just like, he, it was a pass pretty much into the goal, because pretty much it was like, okay, well, I'm gonna. I think most people at that point, in front of goal, they probably would be able to just pass it, just like he did, because he just gave him acres. It was just there. It was like, okay, cool. Like, it just dribbled in, But I take nothing away from Gigi's after the boot pass and also Saba's turn in there in the box.
Yeah. That pass is like Thiago levels of vision right there. That was world-class passing. And, man, yeah, there was a lot of world-class stuff Gigi did this game, too. It wasn't just that pass. I mean, his goal was, wow.
Yes.
Rattled the crossbar.
Yeah, exactly. Hit on the underside of the crossbar and in. And that's the thing. It's like that's how you have to beat Galese.
Exactly. I was just about to say, yep.
Man, you have to hit a golazo like that, and I mean, the build up. It's like, Saba's ball to find Lennon, and then Lennon's Cruyff turn, where, like, I think if you guys remember, like all the little I guess Calvin Harris memes where people are just sliding into oblivion, into the rainbow road, essentially. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but basically
those words sound familiar to me, but I for some reason don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, well, it's like that.
Yes.
Yeah. People will just like crop out.
Yes, I know what you're talking. They slide for years. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
And it's just like pretty much Lennon sent him packing and
banished him to the Shadow Realm.
Exactly, because man, like I can't decide what is better at the moment, like that turn or Yakumakis's goal.
The goal, but like it's not hard. Like, I mean, it is hard to determine because you're right that awareness and then the passive death, as they say in Spanish, back, the cutback. That's one of my favorite things in soccer is to see an excellent cutback pass, and seeing us being able to do it more often, more regularly, and successfully is exciting. Because I mean, you get that feeling when a team does it to you. You see the ball go backwards away from the goal, and your heart just drops because you know off screen there's a guy running. And then he's just like, here I am, bang, goal. And you're like, no! So it's so good to see it coming from your part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's one of those, the third man run is so important and so hard to track. And that's the beauty of it is the more we can do that, the more we will catch teams out. But anyway, let's get into what the chat's saying. Let's get some shouts out to our Patreon members that keep us going.
Yeah, real quick. While we'll just quickly throw this up on the screen. Looking at our starting lineup with Drew, Gavin, and I believe we might have a substitution coming off Ariel, but I'm not quite sure. I need to update that one. But thank you guys. Thank you guys for showing up and showing out for us. We appreciate it. Let's look
at our tiers. So,
at our top tiers. Let's see. So in the chat, we have Elliot coming in hot in the early. He says the Lions sleep tonight. That's right. Bryson Cicero says Vamos ATL. He says good win even without the possession. June Bulen says, why MLS don't also break for international games? AJ, what do you think about it?
Well, usually we do, but I think this year, because of all the competitions that teams are in, there's not enough time. There's just, and it's to our detriment because, we're going to have 6 players out next week. That is going to be brutal. I think, there will be some other teams that we'll have that as well, but I mean, we're essentially being punished for having good players.
Exactly.
It's just that's frankly ridiculous. But we'll just have to rely on our depth here and hope for the best. But
I mean, and to be clear, no one in the league likes this. They don't like us playing through international breaks. Remember, Tata Martino was very vocal about it recently. Bryson also says, take the ball, Orlando. We'll take the 3 points. Darth Hua says W. Jack Dickens says Saba was everywhere tonight. Worked his socks off. He absolutely did. Drew says, let's go.
He doesn't really. His socks are very low to begin with, so
that's true.
They're halfway off already. So.
Yeah. He also says Saba had been stressing with the extra touches, but it worked. Stressing him. He was stressing him with the extra touches. Yeah, I mean, just the whole team in general in the final third, there was a lot of extra unnecessary touching. That was making me a little upset. But, we got the 2 goals. Could have scored more perhaps, but it is what it is. Yeah. Drew also says, nice to beat the purple hell spawns.
I haven't heard that before. Like
Bryson, that's got to be at least your 7th or 8th Vamos in the chat. I appreciate the energy. Gavin says OFYO. If you know, you know. Bryson says Vamos Mike. Vamos Bryson. That's another one. And another Vamos. He keeps on going. I love it. Elliot says ATL. Incredible atmosphere. Elliot, a statement win. Incredible finish. Sabin Yorgos will lead us. Everyone is just kind of in a jubilation right now.
I love it. I love it. That's what it should be. I mean, performance aside, that's not perfect. It's always good to father the kiddies. And,
even if it's a stepfathering, it's still a fathering.
Yep, exactly. I mean, it's a stepfathering by Yakumakis, but I don't know what we can call Saba. It's like, I don't know. He's just he's part of the party.
He's the strange European uncle. Let's see.
Shit.
Must have woke the neighbors again after the GG goal. Gavin says, Elliot, that's because they were wearing green underwear. He's talking about I see no green. 7:30 is a tough start time on Sundays, AJ. Yeah, I agree. He says, I blame the organization for not utilizing Saturday games while neither baseball nor football is playing. Yeah, I mean, it's I think they're getting better at the timings of the games, but a Sunday at 7:15 or whatever it ended up being is just, that's rough. That's rough for everybody, but it is what it is, especially on St. Patty's Day too.
Yeah, but I also get it from one end too. Maybe was that okay? You're basically asking everybody to give up their Saturday on St. Patty's Day weekend. So most people probably were going to party on Friday or Saturday. But it's also this. It's not like the club chooses the schedule.
Right. It's broadcasting rights and things.
Exactly. There's broadcasting rights, but there's also, it's the league that pretty much chooses when, these teams play. But still, it is annoying. And yeah, I think it made the atmosphere what it was. And, my gripe about it at the top of the show, I think still rings true on different years, especially 2017, 2018, bits of 2019. This wouldn't have happened. It would just be, it would still be packed.
Yeah.
It would still be, I don't think they announced the attendance.
The guys were saying around 38,000 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. It was one of the lowest for an Orlando match that I've seen, and yeah, it was just parts of the stadium kind of dead, in terms of sound and all that. It's just the supporter section doing most of the work. It's just this is what I mean. This is what I mean when I have said it in other podcasts and episodes, is that the casualness and people, I guess, deprioritizing it because of the club's form. Well, this is what happens. You have I would almost even say this is a record low. That's insane. It's still really high, but it's
I mean, you look at last week and then you see this, so it's a drop off for sure. And especially if a derby game is, you'd think there would be more. So Bryson also says possession means nothing if you don't do a thing with it. Now, this is something that makes me think about previous seasons where it felt like that's what Atlanta United was. We'd see a lot of possession and not a lot of production. So it was nice to be on the other side of things for once. If we're not going to have the ball, at least we performed well on the counter and in transition. So I was happy to see that. Usually it's like in previous years, we'd be the ones being frustrated by a result like this. So I'm happy, even though we lost the possession battle, which was kind of like a thing that we like to do is win the possession battle. I mean, I don't care. A win is a win. This is something that I've been harping on for a while now. Like, if you're losing that battle, let it go. Don't try to fight on those terms and then just lose. Instead, play, like judo it a little bit, and flip it so it's to your advantage. And in this case, we did it to our advantage with, playing for counterattacks, and we hurt them. And they weren't able to have an answer for it because they did what Atlanta United used to do, which is get the ball into the final third and pass, and either shoot and miss it or just cough it up.
I mean, I know what you mean, but I don't accept. Like I think for me the standards need to be higher, and I think we need to dominate. I think we need to not only control possession but also play with verticality, and it's possible to do both. But yeah, I think because we played with more verticality than we normally do, I think that's why you saw the possession the way it was, because we were taking more chances in the final third, but we were okay with it. We were okay with losing the ball, and I think. But the thing is, we still conceded a lot of shots, and that's just not good enough against a better side.
Exactly.
Against top teams.
Yeah.
And the more we concede shots like that consistently, that's just you're asking for trouble, because it's like, but yeah, I mean, because Guzan, he has been really solid to start the season, and saves that he's like wound the years back a little bit, at least just for the first 3 matches, it seems, because competition.
Well, look at that that hammy stretch he had tonight.
Yeah, and that I actually, if he had gone off, I would have felt really bad for him if that was the way that maybe he doesn't continue between the sticks going forward. Like I think I would rather it be where Josh Cohen is just pulling up trees in training,
right?
And he's outright won the spot. That's how I want it to happen.
Makes sense.
Versus, versus this, like, I mean, it's odd. So many guys were pulling up lame a little bit, and we're needing a little bit of kind of teammates to stretch them a little bit. And
it could have been tactical stretching with Gregerson.
It could have been, but I mean, Williams coming off, I don't think you would have really seen normally. No. One of our starting center backs coming off.
I got nervous when Abram came on because he did have some shaky moments.
Yeah, exactly, and it's his debut for the season, so it's like, okay, like he's not quite match fit, match speed, any of that yet.
Yeah, you're right, because I feel like if you were gonna put him on, like give him a debut or whatever, it wouldn't be in this context, because I really felt like Atlanta, despite winning and getting 2 goals and Orlando not scoring anything, felt like we were hanging on a bit. Like things could have changed and flipped on its head pretty quickly if we weren't careful. And putting Abram on, to me, felt like we weren't being careful.
Right. Because it was, I mean, we were 2-0 up, but yeah, as they say, 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in sports or, football. But still, though, it's one of those things where, the level of how many, or not the level, but the amount of how many players had to be subbed off because they were, I think, feeling it. It's interesting. It's really, really interesting. Like we're the third match of the year, and that's happening already. Like I get it from okay, maybe they're not match fit, but I also don't buy that from the starters. I don't buy that from from the subs. Okay,
Well, like I mean, an Edwin and Jamal sub is probably planned a little bit at least. The Shande thing was, I agree with you, probably a tactical, thing. And then the Williams is the only one I think it had to do with probably either fitness or health.
Yeah, but it was also other players, kind of needing to be stretched out, and then of course,
well, Gregerson was taking hits like a lot of that game. He was up against it often. I mean, just that hit to the head from Guzan when they rolled around on the ground.
Yeah, let's get to the ref then, because
all right. Before we do that, let me read a couple more because there's a few more in the chat. Bryson also said Gigi's goal sealed it, took the life out of Orlando. Yeah, that was a backbreaker for sure. Jack says it must have woke the neighbors again after that Gigi goal. Yeah, I already read that one. Williams has been a great signing. Elliot says, yeah, he has been. He's ready to be sold. If he was, who are you talking about here? Oh, Abram. Williams passing out the back is far better than Abram's. I mean, I don't like. We don't know that for sure. I think Williams' game is better overall for what we've seen with Abram, but I don't know if passing out the back is better. We'll see. I think we just need more to look.
Yeah, because I think the sample size is okay. Yeah, the team goal that we scored last week.
Right.
It's something that's like, that's a very sexy way to look at it for sure.
But if you look at what he did against Columbus, he was suffocated. So.
Right. Exactly. So against the better teams, that's where we can really see.
Yeah.
Like, the true goal.
Bryson says if he was willing to go back to Brazil, he checked out. If he was, you're talking about Thiago probably. He's ready to be sold. If he was willing to go to Brazil, because that one team from Brazil was looking at him at one point. I don't think he's willing to go to Brazil, and I don't think that's the reason he would have been checked out if he even was. Which it's a debate whether or not Thiago was checked out this game. I think he looked like it. It's possible, but I think it's the hangover is more likely, is what I'd say.
Because on that, I think there was a moment where he lost the ball and then he just strolled.
Yeah.
And he had to pretty much like Muyambo did all the work to get it back, and it was just like, bruh, like that's I don't think that's how you get to Europe. Like that's okay, sure, you're more of a creative player, you're more of a attacker, but I mean, in today's game, like you have to be a two-way player. Like that's how you get on the best teams, and that's if he's gonna stroll after losing the ball, no. Like I think it's also fans aren't gonna appreciate that either. I think a lot of them were getting on his back in terms of in comment sections and all that too. So he's gotta fix up a little bit, and I mean, unfortunately.
Cheer Wine Guy asks, are you guys worried Thiago is not up to speed with the season yet? Should we start Firmino for a match? We should start Firmino for perhaps Open Cup matches, but I don't know if we're going to start him for a season match unless there's something wrong with Thiago or he's absent. He's just that Thiago is just that good, and he commands that much respect from defenders that other teams will build their defense plan around what he can do. So even if he's not at his best, that he still attracts so much from the other team that it gives our other players a lot more leeway.
Absolutely, that's a great point. And it's also this, like, okay, he held on to the ball a little longer than he should have this match, but it's not like Barco levels where I mean, at this game it was kind of like Barco levels. It's not always like this, but this game there was way too many times he tried to dribble into traffic. Yeah, and it's fair to some degree, but I think it's okay. So Barco, what he did usually was basically dribble across the box, like strafe right usually, right? But I think the difference with Almada is, okay, yeah, he's a little bit more unpredictable. Like he's gonna, lay it off. He's gonna, because there was a moment where he, was going to cut to his right, but then, he did lay it off with his left. He was still trying to play the team game at times, but I think there are some moments where it's also when we needed to keep it. It was basically, it's the kind of point of the match where you want to see the team stay in their third and pretty much see out the match. And I think that's probably what it was a little bit. Whereas, Almada, he would pretty much confuse the opposition, like which way is he going. But he wasn't trying to pass the ball. He was just basically trying to keep it. He was basically trying to waste time. And he's the best in the league at that, like in terms of keeping the ball. Like if he really wants to keep the ball and not shoot or whatever, he's always twisting left, right. Like the defense doesn't know where he's truly going unless he's going for a shot or I think it's those moments that he it's the difference. Like it's why he was still on the pitch. It's why he it's like you don't take him off.
Yeah.
Like there's those times where it's like, okay, there's a lot of teams that will take off their 10. Because they might not be tracking back, or they might, it's like you want to see out a match or whatever. Like, no, he still has so much value in possession. That's how you keep the ball away from the opposition, is giving it to Almada. And I mean, it's just that's one of the best things that he does. Like there were previous years where we didn't play with a defensive midfielder, because we were going for a goal, and he's just in the middle of the park, twisting and turning, keeping the ball away from the opposition. And yeah, you don't need a defensive midfielder at that point when you have the ball and it's in as secure of a player as Almada.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, any more comments right now? Yeah, just talking about some of the goals. Bryson describing some of the goals. They were really good, like we described earlier. MVP KC says it's Father's Day. That's right. Bryson says, fair with that. I would have loved to use this game as an excuse to party for St. Patty's Day. I know, right? Yeah. Gavin says attendance was 42,000, according to MLS app, 42.6. MVP Casey says Saba is even better with a full season under him. Yeah, like I think he's just only going to get better. He's once he just like kind of gels even more with his team. I think he's going to hit a plateau eventually. He's not a world beater, but I think he can get a little bit better, and the team itself in general can get a little bit better too. I think there's a little margin that they can hit still. And Tara Moody says a good ugly win against our rivals. I will take it. They scored no points. It's always a good day when Orlando doesn't score points, so that's nice.
Oh yeah, 2-0. but yeah. So okay, yeah. Are there people that are gonna be coming on?
Yes, there's two.
Yep. Well, let's bring them on.
Okay, we can do that. All right, Gavin, just hop in, and I will just read a couple more while we're waiting. Bryce says, do you guys think we conceded a lot of shots because this back four is new together, and that is something with more time together they can figure out?
It's not just the back four. It's pretty much the midfielders as well. It's a whole team. Basically, defense is a team game. It's not just the back line. So I think allowing wherever the shots are coming from, whether it's from distance, from outside the box or edge of the box. I mean, we got lucky. They absolutely should have at least gotten one. I think probably.
Their XG was terrible, so I don't know. Maybe.
I think it's that. It's just like the XG.
But ours was too. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That's where XG is imperfect. And
pesty statistics.
Exactly. Like you want to watch the match, but also you want to incorporate stats in there as well. And that's if people just watch the game with stats, it wouldn't tell the whole story. And
right. Yeah.
That's why you watch the match, because there's things that you see that just aren't really quantifiable.
Yeah.
Yet, anyway.
That's true. Everything's quantifiable. We're just not good enough to quantify it yet. You're right. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, Gavin, are you here? Are you here? Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Earth to Gavin.
I am.
Hey.
There he is.
Let's go.
That's right. He's got the gold chain Atlanta United clock because it's Saba time.
Yes, indeed.
Yep. All right. Can y'all see me fine? Can y'all hear me fine? All that good stuff?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly fine.
Good. Awesome. Sure, because my Wi-Fi's been a little off and on as of late, so I want to make sure we're good with that.
Everything's good to go. Let's hear your thoughts.
Yep. It was a good game. There were shaky moments here and there. It wasn't the best match, but a win's a win. It's always a good day. If you win on St. Patty's Day, you get a clean sheet, all that good stuff. It was good goals too. 2 really good goals. I saw you were debating which one's better. Me personally, I'd say Yakimakis. I mean, you don't see Yakimakis do that. You can see a striker like Cucho Hernandez do something like that, but I'd say that's more of like an Almada kind of goal. You never really see Yakimakis do something like that, and that was just amazing. And I would be surprised if it wasn't one of the goal of the week candidates again. But I mean, it's an average MLS goal. We get lots of bangers like that, and once the game, both defenses played well. I'd say ours did better because got a clean sheet. If there was one player for Orlando who was probably their MVP and savior, it'd probably be Janssen, because he was just here and there. He was here and there a lot. Stien did good too. He put his body against everyone. He was just sacrificing himself, and I couldn't tell if I saw when Guzan got hurt. It looked like he pulled his hammy for a bit, but I don't know if he played through it, because I mean he's played through a torn MCL in New York last season. He's done that before. I wouldn't be surprised if we see an injury report later, because he could have pulled his hammy because it didn't look good, but I'm surprised he kept playing.
Yeah, I mean, that would be tactically ridiculous if he felt something and they didn't pull him, because we had used all of our subs, so that would have been really bad.
Yeah, but it was a good match. I mean, obviously not. It's not like, I wouldn't say it's a statement win. Because there's things we could have done better at. We'll see what happens next week. If we pull out at least a point next week with what you said, 6 players missing.
Yeah, something like that.
Players.
Yeah, I mean, I know off the top of my head, Wiley, Almada, Yakimakis, and Schlieser aren't gonna be there. What are the other 2?
Well, Thiago got called too, right?
Yeah, he said Almada. Abram, as well as who do we all say? Yeah. But
it was,
either way.
Bartosz, Thiago, Yorgos, and Wiley. Those are 4 that I know, but I don't know the other 2. So you said there were 6, but either way,
is Edwin being called for his team?
No, he's not.
Sure.
No, he's not. Yeah, the
only player I know that's going to be missing for Toronto next Saturday is Astorio. He's going to Canada national team, but that's all I know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so that's annoying. If they're pretty much full strength, and then we have our best players.
I just don't want it to be like the 6-1 scoreline from last season against Columbus, because that happened after we beat Portland 5-1, and this is a good win as well. I just don't want it to be a 6-1 scoreline.
It's not gonna be, because we have Dax McCarty.
Yeah.
We still have Stien, and we still have Williams. These are stout defenders. I think they'll be fine. We might not do well, but we're not gonna get 6-1. That's for sure. That's like, I'll put money on that. And I almost, by the way, predicted this scoreline in this match again on the money.
I know, right? I know. I was hoping
too.
they got a big goal for you because I was like, I don't want there to be 2 goals from Orlando, so I much prefer your scoreline, Michael.
Yeah, you guys got to start like betting along the lines of what my predictions are.
Man,
It'll make you rich.
To.
Yeah. Last week I got mine correct. I said 4-1. I told you at halftime before 1 year, and you were like, "Oof, like there's no way that was gonna happen," but it happened. That happened. I said, "Yeah, that's me." But I said 2-1 in the Discord. I thought I just had to see it to believe it. I didn't think I thought it was gonna be we'd score first. We did. I thought they were gonna score later. It never did because their defense has been very improved, I'd say. And we didn't let them score. Then we got our second, and that's what put it to bed, really. But Orlando played desperate for the rest of the match, and we still won.
Yeah, we're lucky we put it went to bed, per se, because let's talk about the elephant in the room. We didn't play that good this game. Like, we played well enough, but let's be real. If this was a better team, this is a very different game. Like, you can't give this much of the ball to a dangerous team that can tear you up. Like, if this was like Club America Champions League or Monterrey, this game is done and dusted. Like, you're going to need to score probably more than 2 goals to beat those teams. And, like, when you see that much possession and you allow them to just kind of walk in and do whatever, we're lucky Orlando, for whatever reason, was not clinical tonight. There was one moment where I was like thinking, where's the one goal going to come from that's just the screw you goal that seems to always happen to us? And when I saw Nico Ladero get the ball and take his wild shot, I'm like, here it is. I knew it. Here it is. And luckily he just missed. But I'm like, that's that Carlos Heel goal. It's coming again.
He's a good player. But we got to work our way to get in the Champions League. We're not there yet. We got to win a trophy. We got to get second. I forgot what the things you got to do to get in the Champions League. But we're in the MLS. So if we're talking about...
Well, there's teams in the MLS that can, like, LAFC, Philadelphia, well,
Columbus,
I don't know.
Miami.
They're going up and down. But yeah, like, some of those teams can rival them. So, like, we will run into better teams, and those teams will test us in this way. And we need to have something to do with it, because I don't know what this, like, I just feel like this performance, good enough to beat a team that just can't find the back of the net. But this was kind of like my thing that I feel like I'm kind of okay with, is that we'll just beat the other teams down, like kind of in 2018 we did a bit, just beat them with a lot of goals. And if they score 1 or 2, big deal. We'll just score 3 or 4. That's fine. And if that's the way we're going to go about it, okay. Against good teams, that is. Against bad teams, I mean, I'm okay with them just shitting the bed and us scoring 2 goals on them.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like Orlando's not a bad team. They're just in a dire moment. And let's just make sure we...
Oh, and Dom, I'll call you in later, bud.
One at a time.
Yeah, I'll call you in a little bit later, bud.
But yeah, and so I'll wait until he's so the the image is not there. We go. Cool. Yeah, I mean, basically, Orlando's not a bad team. They're just in a dire moment. They they're not that deep. And this is the problem with being in Champions League, is that MLS teams are not deep enough to really do too much in the competition. And yeah, I mean, it's like,
to add to that, they were missing Carnahanas and then and Fagundes from the start. So like,
yeah,
those are huge pieces.
And Araujo, their midfielder.
Yeah, and so exactly. They're banged up. They're it's what it is, and we'll take the 3 points every single time. But I think it's also, well, to answer your question of where you can actually get into the Champions League, it's Leagues Cup, it's US Open, and it's of course as well.
They're expanding it now, so like you can have it like top 2 or whatever in each conference or something.
Yeah, and basically there's like 8 teams in the Champions League right now. I think from MLS, it's quite a bit.
Yeah.
But and so it's that it's like okay, yeah, where we can get in, we should, because we are a team that's willing to spend. So okay, but we'll get there when we get there.
Right. But does this concern you? Like, we run into a better team and then we get kind of like slapped. Is that something you see happening based on what you saw?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's concerning too. It's always a learning lesson. If it was like this game played any other team, it probably wouldn't have been good. But it's always a learning lesson, no matter what. So, yeah, always learning lesson.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's this. It's like, okay, these like Pineda did mention after the match how he didn't really, I think enjoy every single aspect of our game, of our performance. But I think there is, we'll look at the positives, which are, how clinical we are, and were, and the goals will seemingly come from a lot of places, which is fantastic. You spread out the goals, even though if you have a kind of golden boot, kind of front runner, it's still, not just Yakumakis. Fantastic. But, yeah, I mean, when we play the teams that are, yeah, I think you look at it within the scheme of where the standings are right now, how the table looks, and you see a lot of Champions League clubs or Champions Cup clubs right now that are not in the positions that you think they would be.
Right.
And it's because of the competition.
Okay, well, let me just cut straight to the chase. Full power FC Cincinnati, do they just beat the pants off of us right now?
Right now, I don't think they beat the pants off of us, but I think they edge it probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say it'd depend on where they're at. Going back to y'all said something like Orlando, they're a good team. Like it's the beginning of the season. There's Montreal's in second place right now, and they just choked away a 1 lead in the 84th minute and lost the game. I mean, and we see Orlando at the bottom of the table. I mean, it's the beginning of the season. I'd say wherever teams are at, it doesn't mean they're a bad team or a good team. Like if let's say Montreal, they're not a second place team right now. It's just they're off to a good start, and Orlando's not off to a good start either. They're on a terrible run right now. So is New England. They even lost to Cincinnati today as well. But I just think New England's not good anymore. I think ever since the incident happened with Bruce Arena and all that, ever since that happened, it's just I think it's done for New England. They're not off to a good start. Carlos Gil is just single-handedly carrying their team right now.
Right. It's it's kind of unseated them as a team to really take seriously, even though they have Caleb Porter as their head coach. I just don't think the talent from a player standpoint is there this year. But even though they, a lot of pundits had them finishing kind of in the middle of the table or whatnot. But yeah, it's this. It's like we always say, MLS is a very forgiving league, and it's not like other leagues around Europe or wherever. That's, I mean, yeah, you don't start well. I mean, yeah, you might put yourself in a really big hole if you're trying to kind of win the league and do those type of things. That it's in MLS, it's just different. Like we just you can pretty much shit the bed for a couple months or even 3 months and pull a Sporting Kansas City, and it's just
not that you want to be associated with him, but Taylor Twellman said the exact same thing on the broadcast.
Yeah. Yeah, you have that. You have like Portland do it a lot.
Seattle, zombie Seattle is a meme for a reason.
Exactly. It's just like but that's the thing. It's like, okay, did they win MLS Cup? No, but it's also I would much rather be a team that's dominant for most of the season than that.
Yeah. And also, I mean, New England, going back to it for a second, they got rid of Gustavo Bo, my favorite, Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords lookalike. They got rid of him, and that's the reason why I'm not a big fan of their team anymore. So that's a huge mistake.
Jermaine is goated, that's for sure. But so anything in the chat while Gavin's here?
Well, let's see if anyone has any specific questions for Gavin, like why, how, and how dare you.
I like it. But let's talk about these refs, because it's time. It's we waited long enough, and I mean, it almost seemed like a vindictive ref, where we booed him, and he was like, you know what, I'm not gonna give you guys anything that's close. It just felt that way, because essentially when
didn't we have this ref already once this season?
I don't know, but
his face looks very familiar.
Not the one from New England. It was not the one from New England. That was a different one. I cannot remember the reference.
I mean, I watch a lot of MLS, so it could just be I'm remembering his face from another game, but I definitely feel like I know this guy's face, but I think it might have been a different game, actually, now I think about it.
Replacement ref.
Either way, it's the whole Silva getting just clattered, by Janssen, and
dude, Janssen was he was trying out for WWE tonight. It was a little ridiculous.
Right, and then so there was only one card. That was the card for Orlando, and he threw
Yorgos.
Yeah, he threw Yorgos, but it was also Silva get the card too for the same incident. Come on, there's somebody threw Gregerson, pretty much bumped him when it's the ball's gone and you bump him into the boards, that's a yellow.
And Wiley got a yellow for literally no reason at one point.
Yep.
That was the weirdest. And 22 minutes in, he gets a random yellow because he gently touches a guy behind the back and he feels contact and goes down. And it's he got a foul a few minutes before that too, if I remember, and that was kind of a hard hit, and he didn't get a card there. And then he gets a nice light one, and then I guess he gets a yellow there. I guess he thought I've screwed up on the first call, but even so, I don't like when refs do that. If you missed a call and you blow it, I don't know if you should go back and rewrite history, and it just doesn't make sense sometimes.
Yeah, persistent infringement maybe, but it's not for that softness that. It pretty much was that. It's lightly brushed.
That was a Charmin push.
Yes. Yeah, you're about to say something?
Yeah. I was gonna say going back to the WWE. 2 years ago. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure lots of people saw it. Did y'all see it was SKC versus the Sounders 2 years ago? Tim Million literally body slammed Christian Roldan in the net.
I do remember that.
That was only because
didn't they the Rock retweet that or something?
Yes, The Rock was something. Yeah, he was like, whoa, yeah, I like that. It was a shout out. And Tim Million, the goalkeeper, he only got a yellow. He went on to get suspended for 2 games, and he probably got fined for an undisclosed amount as well. But if we're gonna talk WWE, there's a lot of things that could have been worse. But that was absolutely unnecessary. And Jonde got a yellow card too, and I didn't see what happened. He probably said something, but what did he do?
Yeah, exactly. I have to really watch it back.
You get a yellow. You get it.
Yeah, exactly. It was pretty much that. It's God, on this, it's I don't think we were particularly, I think rougher than Orlando this match. Nor were we fouling more. It was just a lot of very strange calls and some that went our way. Like, I think there was a moment that Wiley, he took the ball out of bounds, and the the linesman didn't say anything. The center ref didn't say anything. I'm like, what? Okay, we'll take it. But like, what? It was clearly out of bounds. But yeah, it just like a lot of those moments, and I mean, it's
well. How about the one with Brad Guzan getting a yellow for dissent because he was upset that Orlando got a free corner because these, that was out on you, but no, it was out on Orlando. Yep. It was clearly out on Orlando on the replay. We saw it played back, and there's just a missed call, and Brad was, hemming and hawing, and I guess that's a yellow. So,
which from the captain, like they should give a little bit more leeway for the
It's
captain.
not like Brad was like acting up the whole game or something,
Exactly. Like it's just like it's a retaliatory type of ref that basically is.
I just had an idea. Maybe this guy heard, okay, this is a rival match. I need to keep the temperature down on this match. So yellows fast and early to keep this game from spiraling out of control. Maybe that's what like he was told going into this. As a replacement ref, he's like not fully prepared and got anxious and apprehensive. So he went, I'm not going to let this get out of control. Yellow, 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 yellow.
Yeah, it could have been.
He could have been practicing. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying he probably practiced some football drill before the game, like yellow, before the game. He's like that.
Yeah.
He's going through the cones, putting the yellows up. Yeah.
At least he didn't lose the plot of the game, right? Because I mean, it's a rivalry. It's gonna happen. It's part of the game. It's just gonna happen. But we got like 5 yellows. You said. Almada's yellow was dumb too. It was not dumb. He did it himself. I just didn't like it because we're up 2-0. There's like a minute and a half left, and he's wasting time at the end of the game. I think that was stupid because we were gonna win anyways.
I mean, it really wasn't even that much longer. I feel like. I mean,
yeah, it really wasn't.
Okay, there's teams that really waste time on corners, and I feel like it was like 30 seconds or less, and that's okay. You can take that much time.
Philadelphia better hope they don't get this ref because they're just going to get 1,000 yellow cards.
Yeah, they're going to end up with 8 men on the field. But no, I think it's also this. Like, on that note that, okay, he was trying to maybe control this match from a standpoint of, it being a derby. It's a little bit of this, too, because early on, if you guys remember, he pretty much stopped the match a little bit. Not stopped it, but like he was pretty much telling everybody on both sides, okay, hey, whatever. He didn't give a card out at that point, but I feel like that was his warning to the entire, for both sides for that. But it just seems odd that we get 5 yellows when we literally had dudes like get 1 shouldered into a board, 2 dragged down, and this is the thing. It's like I don't remember our players like being that just blatantly rough. Like honestly, from a not like biased. Like I would say if it was because like Wiley, he took a ball out of bounds, and it's like I'll call it like it is. But it's not like I don't think we were particularly more rough or infringing more than they did. It just seemed strange.
So how about this?
Yeah,
how about this real quick? How did we get 5 yellows? And this is a miracle, everybody. Yorgos Giacomakis was not one of the people who got a yellow. And honestly, he should have gotten a yellow just for beating the shit out of the ground because he pummeled that thing multiple times tonight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he wanted some of those calls, which, that's a great question. Yeah, it's he almost always gets one. If I don't know if you're going on like, okay, who got a yellow?
Yeah,
you probably bet.
Yeah, Yeah. I agree with like how are we that rough. I just know off the top of my head, two of the yellows was the Almada time wasting at the end. The other was Johnny Silva probably said something. So that leaves three left with I can't remember off the top of my head. So, but yeah, I still agree. I don't know
Yeah,
what.
Guzan got one, Silva got
Yeah.
one. So it was Wiley was persistent fouling, Muyumba was a straight up foul, Silva was for time wasting, Guzan was for dissent, and Almada was for time wasting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. It's like, okay, those are things that, okay, Muyumba, that's the only one that, okay, yeah, that's a straight up, yep, okay.
Yeah, that was very stupid right before the half too. That was really dumb.
Right. Yep, like he deserved the yellow. But yeah, it's debatable on the others if you have pretty similar things, if not rougher fouls from Orlando that were just like, whatever, waved off.
Yeah.
Like, no big deal. And it's just like, like he was getting battered by the home crowd. I mean, he was getting a lot of abuse, and
Yeah, well, rightfully so. And if you're gonna be a pro ref, I mean, just that's the lot in life you've been dealt. I mean,
unfortunately,
I don't know what do you want me to say. Like,
yeah, like obviously,
it's like being a boxer and going into the ring and being like, "Why are people punching me in the face?" It's like, well, I mean,
and we should delineate that. Okay, like he doesn't deserve any personal abuse. He doesn't deserve any
we're not condoning personal abuse. This is just people criticizing his calls.
Exactly, like him as a ref in his performance. That's all that is. Like no water balls need to be thrown. No actual physical violence or anything like that needs to be done. It's just his calls were weird, and they thankfully didn't affect the outcome. But did they come off as strange? Should he get another MLS match? He's I think he's not a person that probably will be getting the call up.
Yeah, it's funny because like I was just listening to Doug Roberson's preview for this match, and he was asked in his question segment, how does he think how the replacement refs have done? And he says like, I can't really tell that much that there's replacement refs. I mean, there's some things here and there, but for the most part, it's not that bad. I feel like this game may make him change his mind if he hasn't had a different opinion already.
Yeah, I mean, it's already been. You could already tell the difference in the other matches, and watching other games around the league. It's. Yeah, I don't know. I don't agree with him, but that's his prerogative. That's his opinion. But
Gavin, do you have any final thoughts about the game?
I'm just now noticing. I feel like we're into more of the negative aspects of this match. Like, should we be happy we won? We won Orlando.
Yeah, but that's the more right.
Of
course,
tomorrow's Monday.
Of course, but it's also like that's where the more interesting conversation is at this point, because we can't really debate. I mean, I guess we could if we wanted to, but how amazing one thing is to another in terms of the good aspects of the game. But I mean, I think what's more telling about the future and what's important to this team is the weaknesses, and if and when they will be exploited and how. So that's what I think is also of value to viewers too. But yes, of course, celebrating this stuff is also awesome.
We won.
We did.
We are exactly happy. Like, I get there's concern for the future, but there's always a learning lesson.
Well, not that much concern. I'm not. Let me stress that.
We won.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so another final thought.
Go for it.
Yeah. I mentioned before. I said before the season started, the schedule looked to us before the season started. Like, off the top of our head, we thought Orlando was going to be well, New England was probably going to do better, and Columbus is Columbus. I got to say, besides the Columbus loss, even though I don't think we did terrible, we improved playing against them, I guess, but I feel like I mentioned, this would be like a gauntlet start to the season, and I feel like we've done pretty well with that so far. Like, I get this game wasn't the best, but a win's a win. The 4-1 scoreline definitely flattered us against New England, but I mean, still, you have you have 6 points. You're in 7th place now, I believe. But with the gauntlet schedule like this, that's a pretty good start. I mean, I get we have tougher opponents coming up, like we have Toronto next week without lots of players, and I think we got Chicago next, which who have been better, but they made a good comeback this weekend. But
yeah, I think I agree with you.
We're home.
We're doing good so far. I like how we're doing, and unfortunately, I don't think Toronto is going to be a good test because a lot of our good players are just not going to be there. So I'm going to throw a little bit of that result out in terms of like how I'm going to analyze things. The Chicago game we should win again. I don't think we're going to be tested much. Now the New York City away and the Philly at home. I think those 2 games we should be at full strength. Those games I think will be telling. Those will be another true test like the Orlando was. And hopefully, these teams aren't... I mean, New York City is Philadelphia's was but I think that they're going to be a little bit better now after they get off of CONCACAF. And I think those will be decent tests because we've always had a hard time at the baseball field and Philly plays us tough. So, I think those will be good tests. And we'll see if what we're thinking the team is right now holds up to those standards.
And to I guess get to the we should be happy thing as well. A little bit more on that. It's this. It's like
why aren't you shotgunning a beer right now, AJ? Come on. We just won the championship. Let's go.
Right. No, of course it's a happy day always to get 3 points. I think it's just so early that we're not going to we've been here before, right? We've been here in the sense that we've seen that the kind of glass ceiling type of wins, or is that the best way to say it? I don't know. Either way, it's
probably not
the fool's gold. Yeah. Not glass ceiling. That's either way. It's getting a little late. It's 11:30. But basically, it's fool's gold.
Yeah.
And that's probably the best way to describe it. Sometimes is that if you have, if you have a match that you absolutely dominated and everything, just looked completely, no complaints. Okay, we're gonna harp on that all day, and I think we have, on those type of wins. But I think on a day where we looked off of it, and we still were able to, be clinical, it should be applauded, and I think we did. But even Pineda, he, after the match, he's talking about things that the team should have done better, and I think we're in the same kind of mindset because it's that the I guess the wins that don't really we win, but then next week we pretty much play the same and we lose. Well, it's going to be an issue going forward. That's not really something that is going to be too fondly appreciated, I feel like, because from week to week, that's where we want. Our standards need to be raised. I think we have all maybe been lulled into a mediocrity, and that's the issue. We do not hold the team to a high enough standard, I think, at the moment. And yeah, Atlanta United, we in the first 2 years and 2019 as well, we were spoiled, as DeBoer said, but it was also because we were seeing incredible football that's for MLS that clearly it was a standard that we have not reached again. And we need to do that. We need to hit those standards again and not just be happy, complacent with, just kind of a what's the word? I mean, it's like just a win that's kind of like paper thin. It's
Yeah.
Like, you look at it, and a casual fan would be like, "Oh yeah, the Monday cooler talk is like, oh yeah, like we did great. It was such a great win." It's like, I mean, cool, sure, but if you actually like watch the match, it's like, yeah, happy we won, but it's like,
Yeah.
like next time we play, will we win? I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, let's think about it like this, real quickly, easy to analyze. What happens when this team doesn't score the first goal? How's that changed the way we play? How's that changed our mentality? We haven't seen how this club will react yet, so that'll be a real test when we go up against a team who will do that first against us.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, Gavin, last thing before we let you go. Anything else?
Not really. Good win. Getting anything but a loss next week against Toronto would be amazing. I'm looking forward to hearing y'all's episode this week.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Listen to it.
Appreciate you, buddy. Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you guys
It'll
for
hopefully
having
be
me
a
on.
good
You
one and
guys
not
are
too
the
depressing.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Gavin.
being here.
Much love to you. You as well, man.
Thank you.
Have a good rest of your night.
Yep. You guys as well.
Awesome. All right, we are going to be joined next by Drew to finish things off tonight, and we'll get you guys out of here hopefully before midnight, but we'll see. We also stick around. We have I have to do my forfeit from last time, and we had recorded it, and I have the video this time, so we'll be able to air it. It's short, but I did it. So we'll do that. And what was the one? We didn't do one for you last time, right? Did we do one?
We did.
Yeah.
I just don't have it. But
what was it again?
I have to listen to a band that I don't like.
Yeah, someone maybe recommend something absolutely egregious for him to listen to. Like, just find the worst possible music. Like, this guy plays instruments. He was in bands. So he probably has some like working knowledge of music, likely, and so find something that is like the antithesis of that.
Let us know in the comments. But yeah. But Drew,
Yeah,
how's it going, man?
What's going on? I'm gonna crack this open for beating the Purple Menace.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
I like that. Yes. Little nightcap.
Excellent.
Yes, for sure.
Excellent.
Let's get into this.
Yeah.
Adjust the camera.
Have your say. Let us know your thoughts.
Weird win here. We come out of it with a 2-0 scoreline, which looks great for us, but at parts of the game, it just felt like it was so chaotic and you didn't know where this game was going. So I don't know if I can take too much away from this game other than good backline. We finished our chances and hopefully we're building more chemistry throughout the season here, but it's just a weird match watching it.
Yeah.
Speaking
I
on
like
the chemistry thing real quick, is that like we have the international break and then now we lose a little bit of that chemistry and then it's annoying.
Yeah,
True.
It is.
It's very true. Yeah, the chemistry bit is very interesting because obviously with the asador, the camaraderie that
Did you see that picture, AJ, that the club put out?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's so good.
I don't know if I love the caption, but
I don't understand the caption. I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah. Because like everyone could cook. It's like, well.
And they put a picture of a mouse. No, it's like a picture of a mouse too next to it. Like.
Yeah, I know exactly. I didn't quite fully get that. Maybe that's something trending that I may be too old for now.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But I mean, it's like the chemistry, like you're saying, is very, very important, and I think that will sustain us through the entire season if we get some modicum of success. That hopefully we can. But go on. What other thoughts do you have?
Do you want me to go off on the ref here? Because
Do it. To have your say, man.
How is that not a straight red card for throwing Silva to the ground? Because from everything that I've known, anything touching neck, face, anything like that with force, straight sending off. Even if we even look at like Weston McKinney's in the Nations League, just hands to the face had him sent off. And I saw the play. I was like, oh, straight red. Okay, they're going to be down a man. And then I was like, where's the red card here? And as the game goes on, you just see more and more fouls going against us. You see cards going against us. And you're like, how is this not more even? Yeah, we deserve some of these yellows, but you look at some of the fouls they put on us and you go, how is this not a card? How are they not being punished for these these fouls? And
like there was one moment where an Orlando player like straight up like karate kicks one of the guys in the leg and he goes down, and it's just like, what? Like there was no attempt at ball or anything. He just straight up, like, if this was done in public on, a public sidewalk, this is like assault and you're going to jail.
Yep.
So like, but he's just like, yeah, I'm good. Yeah, no card here. And maybe like perhaps the reason why I didn't give a red, I mean, it's kind of like going back with what I was thinking about earlier about trying to control the temperature of the game. If he feels like he gives a red, perhaps maybe he thinks this game explodes and everyone gets crazy, but I don't know.
That's the thing. It's like, okay, if he gave a red for us, the whole stadium explodes. Yes.
Yeah.
For Orlando to get a red, that was probably deserved. I mean, I think he would have gotten the crowd on his side, to be fair. So
he would have, but I think like people would have perhaps said he lost control of the game if he was doing that. But I don't know, because I think that was also probably a legitimate red, but
oh yeah, it was definitely,
because like again, it's the whole like you touch face and throat, things like that. So it's
yeah, I mean, but refs aside, there were two great goals. The assist probably better on the first one, but did you have a favorite? Did you have a favorite moment in those goals?
Yorgos' goal, just him finishing that and just kissing it off the crossbar, and then just the build up with Lennon basically sending the guy to the Shadow Realm over there and just laying a perfect ball off. It's chef's kiss to just kill them off, and I was trying not to freak out when that goal went in, and it was perfect.
Oh yeah. The stadium did explode pretty much when he scored that, because it was just like,
and you can see how much it meant to them as well. Is you saw the celebrations for them, and even on Instagram, you can see them and the crowd. They're just going wild.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's like it's a infectious kind of like a symbiotic energy that is fed into each other, and I mean his celebration as well. Like you can see how much it meant to them, and that's a great point. Is that it's not a goal that we've seen too much from Giacomakis. But it shows he's got every finish in his locker. Like, the perfect hat trick last week. Like, he is a man that is very confident right now. And I mean, I think it's a bummer that he probably won't be starting next week. So
Yeah. injuries aside, with how he's started this campaign, he's the front runner for the Golden Boot right now, and if he continues on the way he's going, I don't see anybody touching him.
I was surprised he didn't get a second this game.
I was too.
Mm-hmm.
Full credit to Galese there on that, because
yeah, he's nutty bananas. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's pretty much we hate a lot of keepers sometimes because we know there's so many keepers that stand on their head against us, and man, Galese is one of those talk about persistent infringement. It's he's that guy that persistent in always keeping us out a lot. And yeah, we would have, I think, a lot more embarrassing scorelines against them if he hadn't been their keeper for this long.
Yeah.
But it is Yakumaki's on him again. It's like the thing that might keep him out of the Golden Boot is these weird weeks where we have international duty and a less talented player who's in every single match.
Yeah, Jamal did not impress tonight to me.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It's tough for someone like him, right? He knows he's never really going to start for a long period of time. And if he is, we should be concerned. So,
yeah. And if he's good, he's not playing in MLS / as a backup. So
exactly. So, I think we have to take it what it is. Like, he's got some tools. He's got some, ability in terms of in the air. I think pressing ability as well. A little bit of ability to, I guess, hold it up. But
I just hope it comes down to service. He just needs good service. And then we have great service guys who are not going, off to international duty and things like that. So hopefully that's all he needs. We'll see. We'll see if he can, it's funny. Taylor had a lot of memes tonight on the broadcast. He was saying that, he was looking at the Brooks GG connection and was going, this reminds me of Julian Gressel and Joseph Martinez. Yeah, Joseph was a different striker, but it seems like this is a very similar relationship. And I'm like, not really. But I can see what he's trying to say. He's trying to say Atlanta's dangerous down the right wing again, but it's just not quite the same thing. And I think it does Yorgos more of a disservice. In a way, you could kind of see it both ways. You say it's impressive that you're relating him to such an amazing MLS player that came through here, and also at the same time, he's going to be his own player and do his own thing. You don't necessarily need to compare him to him. So it could be kind of looked at as either way, but either way, I thought it was kind of funny that he said that quote about Yorgos and Brooks being like Julian and Joseph, which, they kind of are, but it's not every right fullback and our center striker is going to be those players. It's not that. But he's going to always do that. They're always going to compare him to that.
Well, but I see what he means a little bit to the degree that, it's a player that's probably playing a little bit more in defense that is getting a lot of assists for us. And,
It's just bolstering your argument about how Brooks is just an unsung hero. No one talks about him, but Taylor even mentioned something he's the 95th percentile or something like that in terms of fullbacks in the league in terms of production and stuff. So he's really, really good.
Mm-hmm. And I think we're a little spoiled there where not everyone it's that it's everyone was always calling for Guzan's head. It's when he has a really good match, we also need to give him credit. And, I think that's the thing is Brooks Lennon is above average.
Way above average.
Above average. And, that's I think if you're looking at it on a whole in terms of his career so far with Atlanta, I mean, yeah, obviously he hasn't won anything with us, so people are always going to favor the likes of a Julian Gressel or Bronco Escobar, that type of thing. But if you look on an improvement level, how much of a stalwart he's been, and his availability, man is never injured. Not gonna work.
Yeah, seriously, find some wood.
Yeah, and he's reliable. He's what you're gonna get.
I think if he wins a cup, that people will stop doing this type of stuff. They'll stop going because I get it. It's the only championship team we've had, so everyone will be always compared to how they played. So, but once we have 2 championship level teams, then it'll be more, different. It'll be different in terms of comparisons.
Right. Because look at it like this: will people say that Eric Remedi is a better player than Bartosz Slisz?
No.
When we had our previous midfield, I did say that, but not Bartosz Slisz.
No.
Yeah, exactly, right? But that's the thing, is let's be real. Okay, right? He is a championship player for us. But Bartosz Slisz is, I think, very small sample size, but it's clearly a better player. Right? So it's just maybe that argument is better had for players that are a little bit more similar in skill level.
Yeah, I mean, AJ and I have been caught on camera, last season or something like that, saying that that we would replace basically the entire team with the 2018 roster. There was only upgrades. There was never one guy who was just better than anyone else for that position from the 2018 team. But now this team, this year, I don't think you can say that with every position, and Eric Remedi's a great shout there.
Mm-hmm. And I think maybe even more interesting,
Jaco?
Oh, no. Maybe that, but Tito Fischalba, Saba Lapsanidze.
Yeah, that's going to be a difficult one. That's a difficult one.
Right. It's, obviously, we don't have a full season's worth of Saba yet.
Yeah. And obviously, Prime Joseph is just better than Jaco, no matter what. So exactly. We'll have to. We have to see more from Jaco if he wants to contest the best striker in league history.
Yeah, exactly. I see you, Drew, but it is also man won an MLS MVP, an MLS Cup MVP, broke the long-standing goal scoring record in a season, and to be fair as well, the goal scoring per minutes as well. He's higher up there.
Yeah, faster to X amount of goals, he's already beaten Jaco and a bunch of those.
Yeah. But does he have a chance to be better?
Yeah.
It's possible. It is possible.
The fact that we're having the debate is a testament to Jaco's talent.
Yeah. And it should be. Atlanta United should have, someone wearing the quote-unquote 7 jersey that can be in that discussion. If we don't have someone of that caliber in that position, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
And on this,
wait, I can't decide about the Tito Villalba and Saba. I just can't do
that
it.
Aside, but Almiron or Almada.
Clearly Almiron, I think. I think Almiron is better.
Yes, but who is going to have the better career ultimately?
Almada. I want him to Almiron to do so much, and I was cheering for Newcastle when he was playing, but right now he's very much a depth piece for them. Yeah,
exactly. He's kind of mid for them. He's a mid Premier League player. He works really hard. He, from a pressing standpoint, from a physicality standpoint, he's one of their best runners, their best, best people to implement what they want to do at Newcastle. But in terms of from a pressing standpoint. But it's I think technicality in terms of for them for either of them, it's like Almada all day, of course.
Yeah.
But Almada doesn't have those physical traits like Mickey does. He's not a ridiculously pacey like he is.
Yeah.
He's more that kind of like La Liga type of player.
Yes.
I was gonna say that Spanish flair.
Exactly. And so it's different, but for number 10s as far as they go, an interesting debate.
Yeah.
Maybe future content. We
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, any other thoughts, Drew?
Not a bad performance. We were able to finish off the game and get the 3 points here, which is great to see. We'll see how everything goes. It'll be interesting to see a couple different guys in the lineup next week. Maybe see a Firmino if Almada's out, or just seeing some of our depth pieces, seeing how they play. Hopefully we can go into Toronto, beat them, and get out of there with 3 points and get back get ready for the Chicago game and kind of beat them down.
Yeah, hopefully so. I think a question for you as well for the man of the match, because obviously one person got the golden spike, but I kind of disagreed. But what do you think?
I didn't see who got the golden spike. Who got the golden spike?
So Abba got the golden spike in the stadium, but yeah.
Giacomakis gets my man of the match. The assist there to Saba's goal was
Yeah, the
world-class.
Trivella or whatever it's called.
That's a world-class play. Just the weight of the ball, the outside of the foot, just the weight to get it to Saba in a position where he can run onto it at pace is world-class. And then the finish to kill the game, it's perfect. It's an amazing performance by him to send Orlando home with nothing.
Agree. World-class assist and world-class goal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean he's, it doesn't mean, okay, there's a lot of people that mistake this or whatever. Like, they're like, okay, just because he does some world-class things, he's a world-class player. It's like,
No, it's just that he performs at a world-class ability level at a higher rate than most MLS players. It doesn't mean he's just always doing world-class things.
Right. And
So
so,
he's proved it in Europe, so...
He has. And so, yep, it's, I think you picked up what I was putting down, which was,
Oh, no.
Yeah, Giacomakis, I think, if you look at the stats of the game, yeah, of course, but take nothing away from Saba, like, he had a hell of a game. But
He did.
He played. This was his best game of the year so far. He looked like the Saba we saw last year. He had the trickiness on the ball. He was pressing well. He was getting back into the defense, and it was a great performance from him, and it was great to see it because I was a little worried with these first couple games. I was like, when is he going to come show up again? And it's good to see.
All right, one more question. Now that shot is really starting to hit, this is going to be a little bit of a difficult one. Is that who was our worst player tonight?
Ooh.
It's Silva. Silva played. It's either Silva or Almada, but I'm gonna go with Silva here. And it's the same thing I've kind of seen with this first 3 games. He hasn't found it yet either, like Saba for the previous couple games. I think he's still trying to find his game starting off here. He's trying to hold on to the ball a little bit more, trying to do a couple tricks here and there, and it's just not coming off. I think it'll come to him here shortly. I'm hoping it's next game in Toronto. He's just got to simplify his game a little bit more. Good passes, maybe make one move, beat him with pace. Just get yourself into the game, because I feel like once Silva gets that first goal, he will take off instantly, and that will be a great thing, because we're winning these games right now and we're getting results with players that feel like they're not at their best right now, which once they get there, I'm very interested to see how far we can take this team.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, I mean, it's not like Silva was useless, but yeah, he, I think because he was still beating his man on the wing at times, but yeah, there were some moments where
a lot of times he tried to one-on-one and lost the ball. A lot of times.
Exactly. Hit it right into the defense, and so it's especially going into the box. I think that's where he's having trouble because on the wing, like on the near the sideline, it was a little bit different. I think he was able to beat his man a couple times there, but yeah, it's the final third decisions. Yeah. It's the
He didn't really cross much, right? He doesn't really do that. He kind of comes in almost every time.
Right. It was a little predictable, and he's not really a player that crosses too much. He's more of a player that will put a through ball in. He'll try to cut in. He'll try to do a wall pass, that type of thing.
But, needs to have that connection, like with Brooks, with the cutbacks.
Right. I think
instead of running in, maybe a cutback.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he and Wiley, it's a different dynamic.
He's also asking probably Yorgos to do more of his left foot, which is harder. So
yeah, and that's it too. It's like his service into Giacomakis. He's not really putting it into areas where Giacomakis can really succeed like easily. I would say because. Yeah, like you're saying, if he's putting it into his left foot or putting it like just behind him, or like it's obviously not good service.
Yeah,
but it's got to get on the head then.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Let him go up and get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, Drew, you gave us your final thoughts. So appreciate you, man. As always, we'll see you soon. Have a great rest of your night.
You guys have a good night. Great win tonight.
Absolutely. Indeed. Thank you, buddy.
Night.
Take care. All right. And then there was just us. So that will be the end of our guest segment, and we are going to move on to the next segment, which is the Wheel of Misfortune. So let me see what
We're the Wheel of Fortune. We both call it different things, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either way. Right. So
we both suffer.
We both suffer. That's right. Let me first bring this up. So I'm gonna get the video going of what we had. So this is us at the what's the hotel called? That's right next to Mercedes-Benz. You can see it in the background.
Right. It's the Simia at 4 at the Hilton.
So, this is us there talking with Scars and Spikes about the game ahead of New England, where I very closely almost predicted the score line for this. And my forfeit was to yell out, "I love Brekshea" in public. And so this was my version of that.
What you got? First, I have to start by saying, "I love Brekshea." Oh my God.
So there's a forfeit that from the last
episode.
watches
our show. Just want to know we have a Wheel of Misfortune, and unfortunately I spun that I had to do that out in public somewhere.
Yes.
So this is probably the most hospitable audience I can find for that. So
Probably.
that's what happened.
We really wanted him to do it in the Publix, just like randomly.
In Publix?
All right, so that was that. AJ does have one he has to do, and he will have that for you guys hopefully next week, and he's going to have to listen to a song like we talked about earlier. So yeah, please give us your recommendations on the Discord or in the chat. That would be great. For this next episode, we're going to do the wheel now, and let me get that up on the screen so everyone can see it. This is going to be deciding which it will be, either AJ or I, to start with. It is okay, so it's on AJ this time again. That's 2 in a row for you, buddy. We have a winner. I love how he always says that. It does confetti applause, and AJ is the winner. That's right. So, to remind everyone, in terms of the penalties, we have Soccer Skills Challenge, yelling "I love Breck Shea" in public. This was chosen by the patrons. By the way, patrons, if you would like to change this to one of the other suggested ones, you can, because we've already used this one. So for next time, let us know. Also, we have Spicy Challenge, dressing up for a stream, and listening to a song you don't like, which is what AJ got last time. So let's see what we got. If he lands on listening to a song you don't like, we'll change it to, we'll have him respin.
Yeah.
It is dressing up for the show. AJ is going to have to wear something funny for the next stream. Who knows what it is? Recommendations are appreciated. So get those recommendations in the Discord and also in the chat, please. I don't want to have to think about this too hard because it can be pretty taxing. All right, so let's look at a little bit more of the chat. Let's see, where can we go back to? All right, Jack Dickens says, the ref was shit. Also, for me, GG is the best pure 9 in the league. Awesome. Darthua says, is Almada worth it still? I think he is. I think he's just going to need a little bit of time to ramp back up. WMCK says, Almada going in and out of U23 is throwing him off. Lacked preseason with the guys completely. And also that the midfield is getting gassed 40 minutes in. I mean, our midfield was a bit torn up by theirs. I mean, that's a thing. Our midfield's still kind of getting going. I think we'll get better, but yeah, I think our midfield was a little bit, a little torn up tonight. Jack Dickens also says, AJ, you're right about the standards. We were talking about the standards earlier tonight about how, you know, we can't drop. We need to keep going. We need to maintain a high standard for the team and not kind of just accept mediocrity. He also says, I think Brooks is very much slept on right back. Oh, yeah, if someone sleeps on Brooks, they have like narcolepsy or something. That's ridiculous. They should not be sleeping. He also says Tito was class in the first season. Absolutely. Worst player tonight was Almada. Sorry. I mean, you don't be sorry. That's true. I believe it was either Almada or Zonde. I agree with Drew's assessment about that. Gavin says, wheel time. Land on AJ. Sick graphic, guys. Thank you. I appreciate that. Isn't that the new hotel? It is. Yeah. I'm always at the Reverb. Yeah, the Reverb's the one that was the mainstay for a long time. He's happy that it was AJ. Apparently so is Drew. He says yes with a lot of S's. Do I send him a jersey for his most hated team? Oh, is that a Chelsea jersey?
No.
Who is it? What's your most hated team as an Arsenal guy?
You don't know?
I don't have a Premier League team.
I know, but it's basically, if you're an Arsenal fan, it's Spurs.
It's Spurs? Oh, okay.
It's Spurs.
No wonder you like Jennifer so much.
I mean, you know, it's the
banter
Spurs,
is top quality with them.
Exactly. It's they're just their own animal that it's.
Yeah, but like, how can you have a rivalry with a team that's never won anything? That's my question. That's like with saying like, oh, Orlando's Atlanta's rival. It's like, well, Orlando's been the getting the beating of a lifetime for so long against us, it was hard to call them a rival.
Exactly, and that's why Orlando is pretty much they're the Spurs to me.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sorry to say if you're a Spurs fan, guys. But,
I can already hear Jennifer clicking at the keyboard and like penning you a very, very upset letter. So, Drew says, yeah, send him that jersey. Yeah, it will be a Spurs jersey. Do I send you a Bayern jersey for all the 5-1 losses?
Ooh, now we're talking.
There we go.
Now we're getting spicy. Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens after this next Champions League tie, because I have a feeling it will not be quite the same. Be pretty different. But
I just realized that we are using. So the music that we're playing for this,
yeah,
it just went into another like a famous streamer's theme music, like Tim the Tap Man. he's a famous streamer on YouTube, and I just like heard that the music is the exact same. That's funny. Anyway, so I guess he uses royalty-free music. Who would have thought? A huge multi-millionaire uses royalty-free music. Interesting.
They have to, have some music somewhere.
Just get your own custom music written. I don't know. It's not that hard.
No, why would they do that? No,
because that's cool. But it's cool. Of course it costs money. Good things cost money. Deal with it.
That's the thing. It's like, why would he do that? It's the same for them. Like yeah. Anyway, okay. Anything else in the chat?
Yeah, Jack says, Chicken on the Ball FC. Also, next weekend does scare me with Jamal up top. Boy, been impressed with him this far. I think you probably meant to say not been impressed with him. Yep, there you go. Not been impressed. So, yeah, I mean, he kind of like struggles to score against USL teams. So, yeah, I'm a little concerned as well. But again, I think it comes down to the service. And I mean, if the service can get him like just the easiest goal right on his foot, I am hoping he can at least score that. So that's what I'm hoping we do.
He doesn't look dire. He doesn't look like Kubo Torres. Like, no disrespect to him as a person. Kubo Torres seemed delightful as a human, but as a player for us,
he was the biggest white flag that we've had in a long time.
Yeah, it's pretty much like, okay, we are not doing anything in this match for the rest of the time that we are.
Just time to hit the old dusty trail when Kubo comes.
Yeah, exactly. Just that's it. Shut up shop. Go home already. Yeah. But
bring back Romario Williams. Yeah, well, I mean, that's gonna be tough to do.
Yeah, I mean, no, we shouldn't do that. But he was probably the best third striker in the league. At some point when he was playing. So, but he's not at those levels anymore.
Yeah, you just need to find like a young, awesome striker that can fit. Like I thought, like Ronaldo Cisneros had potential. Like there could have been something there. It stinks that it never really went there. But like someone like him, young, hungry striker that has something to prove. There are like very rarely there's good backup MLS strikers. It just doesn't happen because they'll be playing elsewhere. So It is what it is. You can get what you get. So hopefully you find someone who's like, I just want to like move to the United States or something. So we were hoping that with perhaps like Jamal or, so.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I hope he does well. I'm rooting for him. I'd like for him to do well. It'd be really cool to have more than just one dangerous person, especially with when Yako came in, they talks about how he's injury prone. He's always away on international duty. So we'll see.
Because that's the thing. It's like, who is our third striker? Like we pontificated who might be a player that we place in there. Like, that's the thing. Like Thierry, will he go the full 90? He'll have to probably.
Yeah, he will.
But do we bring in Ashton Gordon? I mean, yeah, he he is kind of the next guy up. But it's like, I don't know. Like, I don't know.
I mean, like, it's just like we're probably already going to be losing in those games. So if you bring in Ashton Gordon, it's like, who cares?
Yeah, you give him his debut and, give him some minutes, some meaningful minutes. Well, yeah, maybe. So.
Oh, Kai Kamara would definitely be a shout, but, like, I particularly don't care about him. But, like, if you get him on pennies, like you did with, what's his name? Oh, my God, what the hell's his name? What? Dom Dwyer? Yeah, exactly. Dom Dwyer was a good shout, too, so.
Yeah, at first. Well, yeah, actually, he might be the best third striker. Yeah, actually, to be fair. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
And at one point, Brandon Vasquez was our third striker, so,
yeah.
We haven't had bad striking core.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you mean in terms of percentage-wise? Because, like, we've had, like, we'd have, like, Cisneros, we had Adam John, we had Kubo Torres. Like, these are not prolific strikers in this league.
But, I mean, it's like, I think that's what I think maybe you're alluding to is the percentage.
Right.
So, Joseph Martinez, like, when he wasn't injured, like, he played, majority of the matches, and those players that were in there, you didn't need the other strikers for really too much.
Yeah.
And when they came in, Romario Williams scored the 5th goal against LAFC. You have Brandon Vasquez. He was our U.S. Open Cup striker, pretty much, scoring a bunch of goals. It's that. It's like those points where, when you need them, they produce a little bit, but large in part, they're not asked to do a whole lot. Like, those were the times when we had a good striking core. They put the ball in the back of the net. That's what you want the striker to do. Like, the other stuff in MLS, it's a different thing. So.
So Gavin, I will ban you in the Discord if you keep saying things like that. Adam John solos, he does not. He does not solo anything. Andrew Carlton's younger brother is on Atlanta Night too. I never knew to earlier. Yes, he is, and he's apparently less problematic as well. So that's neat. Gavin, I noticed when we played Toluca, the AmFam Cup last year. When we saw his brother, that's right. Yeah, we had a bunch of interesting guys come on in that game. That was a fun game, even though we lost. So anyway, is that pretty much it? Everyone get your last comments in, questions before we head out of here. It is 12:12. I'm a little 12 minutes later than I was expecting, but that's okay. Sometimes you go over. That's life sometimes, right? So.
Yeah, it's Monday morning, guys.
It's Monday morning. Welcome to the new week.
Yeah.
As we wait for those comments, those last ones to come in, AJ, do you have any parting thoughts?
I would say, Orlando, take that L. And, it's always great. It's always a great day when Orlando goes home with nothing. So I think that's a good place to leave it if there are no other comments.
There is no banning me. Gavin says you will speak with my lawyer. That he's innocent. He's pleading his innocence. We'll see. We'll see about that. We'll be tried by a jury of your peers. Jack Dickens says, thanks, guys. Great stream. Appreciate it, buddy, and anyone else who stuck around, all 11 of you, until past midnight. I mean, this is a dedicated group of individuals, and we appreciate you guys for sticking it out. This was an exciting game. Like Gavin said, exciting in terms of the W, maybe not in terms of the play, outside of the the world-beating aspects of our team that came through tonight. But yeah, I'm happy for the win. And again, this is just it's games like this where perhaps you don't play your best, but you find ways to win. Championship teams do this. This is what they're made of. So this is a very good result for me in terms of the overall the zeitgeist, the milieu of the team. So I'm happy about that. Is there some issues that can be exploited by good teams? Of course. But we'll tackle those when we run into them. Right now, you got to play the team in front of you, and we got past them. We cleared them pretty easily, and I'm happy about it. Orlando, tough luck. Maybe until next time.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, yeah. Well, I guess on that note, then, we will end the stream right here. So remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe, everybody. And for Michael, I'm AJ.